facilitate your learning, please make sure that a notebook or a piece of paper is prepared. Also, a pen or pencil is ready for you to make notes while watching the video. Thank you. May I have your full attention, please? All contents provided by this channel are meant for informational and educational purposes only.
Congratulations, Dr. Smith. Your team won the race.
Thanks. I still can't believe it. Years of paddling finally paid off.
I was standing near the pier. The winning team celebrated with jumps and confetti.
Oh yes, that was the time of day when everyone cheered the loudest and went wild.
Relative clauses give us more information about someone, something, or idea without starting a new sentence. This helps make sentences more fluent, detailed, and connected. A defining relative clause usually comes immediately after the noun it describes. We usually use a relative pronoun like who, whom, which, that, when, where, or whose to introduce a defining relative clause. In a defining relative clause, we use when to give essential information about the noun. The clause is necessary to understand the sentence, so we don't use commas. If we remove the clause starting with when, the sentence loses its essential meaning and becomes unclear. Let's look at our example sentence.
That was the moment when the lead boat capsized. When tells us which moment. It's essential.
In a defining clause, where is used to give essential information about the noun.
The clause is necessary to understand the sentence, so we don't use commas.
Yeah, also, if we remove the clause starting with where, the sentence loses its essential meaning and becomes unclear. Let's look at our example sentence.
A platform where the judges sat.
There may have been multiple platforms. Where tell us which platform, so it is essential. In a non-defining clause, when adds extra information.
It's not essential to understanding the noun.
We use a comma because if you remove the clause starting with when, the sentence still makes complete sense. Let's look at our example sentence.
The races started at 9 a.m., when spectators cheered loudly. When adds extra information about what happened at that time, so it's non-defining, and a comma is used.
Yeah, we can remove the clause without changing the main idea. In a non-defining clause, where adds extra information, it is not essential to understanding the noun.
We use a comma because if you remove the clause starting with where, the sentence still makes complete sense.
That's right. Let's look at our example sentence.
We walked along the riverside path, where decorations were hung. There is likely only one such path.
The clause gives extra detail about the path, so we use a comma.
This is non-defining. We can remove the clause without changing the main idea.
The relative pronoun when is used to describe times and what happens then.
At which or in which are formal equivalents of when.
So we do not put a preposition before when. Also, the clause gives essential information.
Right, important information, so no comma is used.
Let's look at our example sentences.
The Dragon Boat Festival starts on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month. People celebrate the festival on that day.
The phrase on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month appears in both sentences. So we combine them. The Dragon Boat Festival starts on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month when people celebrate the festival. When connects the start date to the celebration.
This is a defining clause. It gives essential information about the day, so we don't use commas.
Let's look at another example sentence.
The celebration reaches its peak at noon. The main race occurs at that time.
The phrase at noon appears in both sentences, so we combine them. The celebration reaches its peak at noon when the main race occurs. When explains what happens at that time.
This is a defining clause. Essential information is given, so no comma is used.
On the other hand, when the course gives additional details,
a comma is used because the information is extra, not essential. This is a non-defining clause.
Bingo! Let's look at another example sentence.
The drum started beating in the morning. The excitement rose then.
The phrase in the morning appears in both sentences, so we combine them. The drums started beating in the morning, when excitement rose. When shows the effect of the timing.
This is a non-defining clause. The sentence is already complete, so we add the clause with a comma.
Let's look at another example sentence.
The Dragon Boat Festival occurred on a public holiday. Families spent time together on that day.
The phrase on the public holiday appears in both sentences, so we combine them. The Dragon Boat Festival occurred on the public holiday, when families spent time together. When tells us more about the time, but it's not essential.
This is a non-defining clause. The sentence is already complete, so we add the clause with a comma.
The relative pronoun where is used to describe locations and what happens there.
Don't put a preposition before where as it is already implied. You can often use in which instead of where in formal writing.
The course gives essential information, so no comma is used. Let's look at our example sentences.
Media crews stood on a raised platform. They filmed the events from that platform.
The phrase on the raised platform appears in both sentences, so we combine them. Media crews stood on the raised platform where they filmed the events. Where tell us what the platform was used for.
This is a defining clause. No comma is used.
Let's look at another example sentences.
Spectators watched from a pedestrian bridge. They waved to teams from there.
The phrase from the pedestrian bridge appears in both sentences, so we combine them. Spectators watched from a pedestrian bridge where they waved to teams. Where shows the location.
Where defines which bridge, so this is a defining clause. No comma is used.
On the other hand, when the course gives extra details,
this is a non-defining clause because the information is additional, not essential. A comma is used.
Let's look at our example sentences.
We stood near the main viewing area. The loudest cheering could be heard there.
The phrase near the main viewing area appears in both sentences, so we combine them. We stood near the main viewing area, where the loudest cheering could be heard. We've already known which viewing area is the main one, so the main viewing area is already clear.
The clause gives additional details. This is a non-defining clause. The sentence is already complete, so we add the clause with a comma.
Let's look at our example sentences.
All supporters waited at the finish line. The winning team celebrated with drums there.
The phrase at the finish line appears in both sentences, so we combine them. All supporters waited at the finish line, where the winning team celebrated with drums. The finish line is a specific place, and the course adds non-essential information.
Since it's extra information, it is a non-defining clause, and we use a comma.
When indicates time. When already includes the idea of at which or in which. So we do not put prepositions like at or in before when. For example, the moment when the dragon boats began to move.
Great example. When refers to a point in time, the moment the boats began to move.
The moment at when the dragon boats began to move.
That's incorrect. When we say when, it already includes the meaning of at which time, so we don't need to say at when.
The moment at which the dragon boats began to move.
That's correct. If you use at which, it sounds more formal, and it's perfectly acceptable in formal writing.
Excuse me, please spend a few seconds to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your support. Where indicates place. Where already includes the idea of at which or in which. So we do not put prepositions like at or in before where. For example, the platform where the judges observed the races.
Perfect. Where tells us about a location, the platform where the judges observed the races.
The platform at where the judges observed the races.
That's incorrect. We don't place a preposition like at before where because where already includes the idea of location, like at which or in which.
The platform on which the judges observed the races.
That's correct, and it's more formal than using where.
Please find me on Instagram under the surname Hi Anjun. Feel free to follow me and leave a comment on Instagram. Let's connect and stay in touch.
Complete the question in 1 minute. Let's check your answers.
If you would like to support my channel, please scan the QR code. Then you can buy me a cup of coffee. Thank you. That's all for the video. If you enjoyed the video or find it useful, please like, subscribe, and smash the bell icon. Also, what traditions associated with the Dragon Boat Festival do you find the most interesting? Comment with your thoughts below. You're most welcome to share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.